Lucky Boys Podcast.
In your lifetime, there are three opportunities where you can make it financially successful. First time is that when you were born, that you're born into a rich family. Second time is when you, from your education, when you start to do work, what job did you find? And if that still didn't happen, all right, you name it, it's your kids. Are they going to be successful? So those are the three moments in one's life where your financial status is established.
So let's run that back. So it's either you're born into it, super lucky, right? So that takes zero talent. Second is if you're able to make something of yourself, you find opportunities and create something out of nothing. Third, or if your children can do that.
That's right.
Which I feel like a lot of immigrant parents rely on.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Right?
I think that's it. I mean, clearly they didn't born into wealth, or if they born into wealth, they lost all the wealth. And then they decide to come to the country like, you know, to be an immigrant. Really, they're relying on the future of the kids having a better life. And then, in a way, that is their accomplishment.
Does that make their kid an investment?
I don't know if it's an investment is the way to put it. I think for a lot of Chinese parents, they see it as more of their responsibility, not even an obligation, but that is their responsibility.
There's a lot of people that I speak with, they feel like they're investments to their parents. They're expected to give their parents a certain amount of money every month. They're expected to, and if you're older, you're expected to give your siblings a certain amount of money if they're still in school and they're not fending for themselves. There was this wild TikTok video. I'm not on TikTok, but I read an article about it that went absolutely viral. This Vietnamese girl, she was crying and pouring her heart out online, saying that her parents have disowned her because she's out there in the real world working, trying to make a life for herself, and her parents has expectations of her to take care of her younger sibling to support her lifestyle, lavish lifestyle, I believe, in college, and to basically put her way through school while she continues to work away. And that's her responsibility as the oldest sibling. And that's not just a one-off situation. I do know other Asian families where the oldest siblings, and I'm not the oldest sibling, so I'm not speaking of myself, but I do know at times my oldest sister perhaps felt like she had to be the second mother and take care of the whole family and shoulder the responsibility. And I've never asked her this, but she may or may not have felt like an investment. But I do know that other friends of mine who were the oldest sibling did feel like their parents treated them as an investment more than a child.
There could be people like that, but I have to say, this is my 25th years of, running to a nonprofit senior centers. And from the 25 years I have exposed to talking to seniors, people who retired, I don't see that. At least for the one that shows up. I mean, it's a unique demographic, right? The one that actually come to a center and be with their friends. I would say from my experience talking to them, that they feel like it is just their responsibility that I gave my kids the opportunity. Now, don't get me wrong, I've heard some, know of some horrific cases where the kids abandon their parents and, and in fact causes a lot of, uncomfortable conversation within that population. But by and large, I think the seniors that I've been dealing with for the last 25 years, they pretty much are all saying, yeah, I'm here to give my kids a better life, no matter, whatever happened afterward.
Have you heard of scenarios where the children no longer cares for the parents, where they don't even visit them?
Oh, plenty of, absolutely. I think some intentional.
But what are their thoughts? I'm curious as to know. I've heard the children's side of things. Oh, my mom and dad's so toxic. I just can't deal with their negativity. They don't understand me, and they disown their parents. Or I have my own family now, and they kind of unintentionally forget about their parents because they're just so wrapped up in their own lives, the American way being here, right? What is the story on the other end of that?
they just felt like, they have failed. That they, some of them, they blame
themselves?
The parents
the
failed.
parents blame,
They think
some of the seniors
they
blame
failed.
themselves.
At that age? Oh my
Yeah,
God,
they
that's
blame
horrible.
themselves, right? I mean, some of this situation, and also, they also understand how society, they have a better handle of dealing with adversity than most people do. So, for example, when the separation happened from the kids, is that they found a job in the Midwest, they found a job upstate, they found a job outside of New York City, but the parents, they want to be in New York City, they want to be with their friends. They don't want to move out there to be, in their word, in jail,
Right.
坐監, so in that way, they just feel like, hey, that's, at least they feel in comfort that at least I gave them that chance. And so they're not going to spend more time with me, but at least I don't have to worry about them. They're okay. Now, there are other situations where, this is another true situation, right? It's where the son lost a job, and someone would go to them, don't worry, why don't you start a business? But I have no money. Oh, take out a mortgage from your house. Have your moms get a mortgage. So now
From the parents' house.
From the parents' house, because they don't own a home. So now they took a mortgage. Not every business. How many was the success rate of business startups, right? So we have seen those cases where now they have to go back and tell mom, sorry, mom, we have to move out because, right? So now we actually have attorneys to explain to the parents how you can protect yourself by making sure that your right to stay in that building is protected. So, but they are open to that. I've seen situations like that, but they just go, oh, you got soy jai, blah 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 blah, and then they just move on.
That's it. They just get a
That's it.
bad boy.
Slap on the wrist, like, okay.
That's it. Right?
You bad boy.
And
That's
so
all you get.
all is forgiven, basically.
If I did
All
that,
forgiven.
do you know what my parents would do to me? What would your parents do to you if you did that? You just short sailed their home or foreclosed it.
As much as my mom nags me, I know she loves me. So even if I did something like that, I think she would be like, soy jai, and everything would be kind
That's
of
it?
forgiven. Yeah. Honestly.
Oh no, I'll get killed. I'll get killed, man.
Yeah, I disown you.
I could be 80 years old. If I did that to them, I'll be killed.
But you have to think about the life experience of these seniors, right? They saw, like the grandma who was set on fire, she saw bombs dropped on her. They escaped poverty like you don't believe, right? Took her 3 weeks to get back into Toisan from Hong Kong, when in today is like a 2-hour trip.
Yeah.
Right. So then you come to America, you have another one of the other ladies, she's a doctor. The Cultural Revolution, she lost her job, she just cannot practice anymore. Half her doctor friends were killed during the Cultural Revolution. Then you come here, instead where she just used to suture and save patients, she end up here working with her mom in a factory cutting threads in a restaurant. So in a common factory, right? So if that's their life experience, they can endure
a lot.
They can endure.
You know what? Maybe Toisans are more relaxed about that culturally, because I'm FJ. I'm Fukjao, Fujianese. I'll tell you right now, I don't know any Fujianese parents that'll play that. You come back home, you tell them you zeroed out their mortgage, or they're fully paid home and now it's been repossessed.
I'm
FJ
sorry,
parents,
you gotta live on the street.
Don't know any FJ parents that'll take that. They will whoop your butt. Like you're done.
Lucky Boys Podcast.